we'll let Jesse start and then straight on to Tim after Jesse, if that's all right.
Yes. I'll just start with the injuries. Stuart and Adam are still out. In addition, questionable are Leo Helja with his appendectomy. And then Joffy, Rodri, Luis, Liam, and Tyler are all a little bit in question. We'll see how the next 48 hours goes for all of those players. Yeah, that's it.
Hi, Jesse.
Hi, Tim.
You're on a difficult run at the moment. After the game on Sunday, you talked about how you and the board are unified. Can you just give us an insight into the conversations that have taken place over the last week or so, and how confident are you that you'll get the time that you need to turn the season around?
They've been very supportive. I've spoken with Angus, Victor, and Andrea multiple times. We've done a few things. We're modifying our World Cup schedule, I think, to think about how we can maximize exactly what we need in the moment. Everything from matches to where we're thinking about traveling to training. We've talked about adding staff, and we're looking carefully at things like psychologists and adding to the complexity of what we do as a staff. Transfers, obviously, and they've been very supportive. But, of course, I'm not dumb. I understand exactly that if we don't win games, I put them in a very difficult situation to continue to support me. So my focus is entirely on what is necessary for the next 3 games, and you can include the Wolves match and the Carabao Cup in that as well.
Liverpool then, next up, a tough challenge, but did Nottingham Forest maybe show the blueprint last week on how to beat them, or does that result make it even more difficult for your side?
Well, listen, I know Liverpool. I've gotten to know Jurgen Klopp a little bit over the years. He's relentless in his commitment to make his team better and his belief of the way he does things. And Liverpool, for me, has been one of the best teams in the world over the last 4 or 5 years. I think no matter what, that is a group of professional players that understand what the demands are. They have a lot of niggling injuries right now. Their backs have been against the wall already a little bit in this year in different ways than where we're at. But we know the quality they have. We know at home they're incredibly good. The way they responded in the game against Ajax shows everything, and we're expecting their absolute best.
When you first took over, on your very first day, you talked about coming in and taking the stress out of the situation that Leeds were in at the time.
Yeah.
Is that something you'll need to do now? Because clearly there's a lot of pressure on the players to get results.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different. I'm actually kind of angry right now. I'm tired of playing matches where we're in the match and in many cases better than the opponent and walking away with nothing. I'm tired of not capitalizing on moments when we're the better team in matches, and I'm tired of giving away goals too cheaply, and I'm tired of not getting results that we should be getting. And I've never lost. I was 14 years a player, 13 years a coach. I've never lost this much in my career, and I'm sick of it. And so I'm trying to figure out which guys can be counted on at the highest level right now, what kind of decisions need to be made from a tactical perspective in terms of match plans. And I need to find the group. I need to help the group find their confidence. And I need to find which guys are ready to fight for everything right now so that we can, in these next matches, do everything we can to get the points we need.
Thanks, Jesse.
Yep.
Hi, Jesse. So when you do need points, there's obviously a need for expediency in some ways. Does that mean that you're thinking maybe a change in the way you play, or are you going to stick to the plan?
No, I mean, it's not about changing the style of play. It's about modifying certain tactics for what the opponents are and where we are in the situation. This week, I've mixed things up because I could see that, the attention span for things when the stress levels are high haven't been as good. So I've tried to find the right mix of training ideas along with tactical ideas, along with preparation in every way, so that the concentration is at the highest level, so that when we're ready to step on the pitch, we play with more confidence and discipline and concentration. So it's a little bit of all three of those things, I think, right now. So we're urgent. We're trying to stay positive. We're injecting belief, but we're also trying to find exactly, again, we need to know that the moment is now.
Have you kept your positivity up? Because obviously that radiates to the players. Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm always a pretty positive guy, but again, like I said to you, I'm kind of angry too. I'm sick of losing. So at some point, it's got to be that we're going to dig in and do whatever it takes, and we believe in our group and we believe in our team. And listen, you could go by expected goals and go by all the metrics and say we should be mid-table and we should be better and all this, but the only metric that matters right now is points, and we need to put points in the table so that we make everything about what we're doing here more stable.
You just said that the club are doing everything they can to support you. Some things you can't control, though, no matter how much support you have, and that's injuries. It sounds like you might be forced into quite a bit into the Liverpool game, or are you a bit more hopeful than maybe that list suggests?
Yeah, I mean, let's see how it pans out, but I think it's a balance, all along. It's about trying to maintain our physical output and make sure that we're one of the most intensive teams in Europe and in this league, but also making sure that we're not picking up injuries and trying to get that balance right. We've probably had fewer muscle injuries than any team in the league and still maintained a relatively intensive way of playing, but we think we can do more in terms of the intensity, and then we have to still find ways to do that without risking missing players. I think the few players that we missed even against Fulham, that was important. Not having Tyler on the pitch, I thought, hurt us on that day.
Liverpool aren't having the season maybe they wanted in the league, but they are unbeaten at home and obviously still going well in the Champions League. Jesse, where do you see a weakness in them?
Yeah, I mean the weaknesses in Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, it's not that we see a weakness in them. It's, can we challenge them in terms of the intensity and which we play, and with the ball, can we limit them as much as possible? Can we find ways to limit them on set pieces where they've been incredibly effective? And can we not let them get out on the counter? And can we find more situations where we can get out on the counter? Both teams like to play on the counter, and they're one of the most lethal in the world at that. So I wouldn't describe Liverpool as having weaknesses. I would just try to say that we will have a game plan and we will try to stick to it, and we will try to execute it to the best of our ability to give ourselves the best chance in the match.
Thank you.
Yep.
Jesse, you've said you're sick of losing, you're tired of losing, and you've never lost this much as a player or manager. How tough is this position you find yourself in compared to what's gone before? Yeah,
I mean, it's about identifying, for me, what exactly is necessary for us to change our fortunes. In some ways, a lot of people in football and sport, they say, yeah, you need a couple breaks. We have to make our breaks. If we make the penalty against Arsenal, that's a break, and if we capitalize on it, then we're in a different place. But we're not prepared to seize moments like that for whatever reason right now, and I have to try to encourage the group, maintain the belief, and then find the right combination of energy, tactics, training, everything to get that right, so that the next time we're in a moment like that, we can capitalize.
Is that the next step then from what you're watching on tape when you talk about looking for players to stand up and be counted, those that can seize the critical moments?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, listen, I don't want to put the responsibility only on the players. We're all responsible. Certainly we have to challenge everyone to stand tall in this moment and to know that we're close, but it's not been good enough. I mean, that's the reality we live in. So we have to we have to find a way to push a little bit harder, to think a little bit quicker, to think a little bit more carefully, but to absolutely make sure that the mentality to fight for everything come match day is paramount, and to do whatever it takes. That includes not being so naive in certain moments, not giving things away so easily, and then, being ruthless and finding ways to capitalize.
How do you approach this game then? Because we've spoken about Liverpool and their qualities and their home record. It's a big challenge.
Yeah, we have to be, I think, disciplined and compact. We don't want to open the game up where they can be out and running the entire match and using their talent and qualities that they have in open space. But we have to, I think, still find ways to command the game with the ball and what we do in possession, and then it has to be our best pressing game. It has to be our best counter pressing game. It has to be our most disciplined game. It has to be our most intensive game. Like, in those standards, we have to now make sure that we're at our highest level.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Jesse.
Yeah.
I know emotions can run high after a game like Sundays. Have you had a chance to process and reflect on Ellen Road's reaction? And what would you say to those who maybe don't share the same level of belief as yourself?
I think Ellen Road was not overly negative. I actually thought the way that they treated the team and the situation we're in, given the negativity that they could be feeling, I felt still like it's a fan base that still loves the club and loves the team so much. And they all recognize that we're not in the situation that we want to be in. Of course, some people want me out. Some people want to see us just find a way to turn the corner because they can see that the performances are not bad. And so in the end, it's normal. Like I said, whether it's with the board, whether it's with the team, whether it's with the fans, we have to start to find a way to get results, or the questions come more and more in this direction. It's normal.
And you talk about mid-table metrics, or rather the team should be mid-table based on some things. Is there an element of frustration for you that you can only do so much as a manager?
Yeah, but I don't. Of course, there's frustration and disappointment that we don't capitalize on some of our performances. But in no way do I want to put the blame on anyone else, right? It's my job to find a way to get the players in their best form, to make them as clear as possible, to help them be confident, and to help them go after games. And that's the job of a manager. And so I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to find the right mix of guys to try to who at the highest level is ready for this moment, and then try to put a plan together that will give them the best chance to succeed.
Thanks.
Yep.
You and Victor have grown very close. You've said he's one of the main reasons you're here. What heart-to-hearts have you had this week with each other? Yeah,
He's been amazing, as always. Supportive, behind me. He believes in the football. He believes in my leadership. He believes in me. He's encouraged me to stay strong, to know that he's with me 100%, that this is us working together. He's done everything a sport director could do for a manager. Really, I couldn't ask for any more. So, and it pains me that we all have to go through this, right? And ultimately, it's my job to get us out of it so that we can enjoy our relationships and enjoy our work together more. And we're gonna figure out a way to do that.
You mentioned earlier you need to find players that can fight in this situation earlier without putting words in your mouth. Is the implication there that some players haven't been giving you the fight you want to see?
Well, it's now the demands are high in terms of confidence, belief, quality, commitment, execution, all of it. And obviously certain personalities can handle it and are up for it, and certain personalities waver in times like this. It's normal, right? It's because I said last year it was a psychological project. I almost feel like we're back into that phase right now where I have to psychologically analyze exactly where each individual is at and where we are as a group. And then I have to try to bolster that and encourage it and then give it the chance to succeed. We did that well, obviously, last year in many ways, and now we have to find a way to do it again.
Jesse, just to go back to expected goals and metrics, do you think then that the league is a kind of unfair reflection of how the season has gone in terms of performances?
I think that if we go game to game, and you look at the fact that we haven't won in 8 games based on how we've performed over those 8 games, it's almost impossible to believe that 2 points is all that we've earned. But that's our reality, right? And I think in those 8 games, there are phases in all those games. What if Luis scores in Brighton on the 2-inch line and it doesn't go wide? What if we score the penalty at Arsenal? What if you can go through what ifs, but it doesn't matter, right? And then you could still look at the metrics and you could look at different things and you could say we're actually doing okay, but which I believe. But in the end, again, right now, if we continue losing matches, then the entire project is in jeopardy. So we got to figure out a way to stop that.
Outside of the club, who do you look to for professional support in the game? Who can you look to for advice?
I mean, I have people close to me. I have family, I have friends, I have, but my staff is a big source also. But the biggest thing are my experiences, right? Is when I have been through hard times, when I've had successes, when I found ways when it's been difficult to turn it. It's been about work, and it's been about the concentration of the gravity and clarity of what the work is. And so that's, I think, the most important thing for a manager. Obviously, in there is the ability to challenge the players, to invest in the players continually. And in the end, it's the players who are going to help get us out of this. That's their clarity and their psychology is the most important thing.
Mark at the back.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey.
You mentioned the support you've received. There's been a lot of Premier League clubs that haven't been as supportive of their managers and have been a lot quicker to get rid of them. It says a lot about the club and your relationship with the hierarchy.
Yeah, I mean, we know Leeds United is a big club. I've learned that firsthand. I knew that before I came, but I've learned it so much more so since living here and being part of this. It means that the intensity of the focus from the outside gets magnified. But it means that internally we have to be even stronger, right? It's not a club that's for people that can't handle this business at its highest. And so I think that we know that internally, and that whether that's, again, the players, the staff, or the board, we've stayed true to the plan that we've had and to the belief that we have had. And we need it right now. We need it.